Hello, this is Mr. Painter with another fabulous IXL tutorial. Today we're working on IXL B.2, graph integers on a horizontal and vertical number line. So earlier we already did horizontal number lines using IXL B1. So if you want just a quick tutorial on B1, please feel free to view my video on B1 because this will help you out with our IXL B2. The only thing that's different about today is we're going to take the number line and go vertical with it, means go up and down. And on a vertical number line, as we count up, the numbers become larger. And as we count down, the numbers become smaller to the point where they may become negative. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And notes are on the right side, so if you want to refer to the notes, you can. And let's go ahead and take a look. So question number 1 is asking us to graph 0 and -7 on the number line. So 0 lands between, let's see, oh, wait a minute. 0 is given to us, so what we're going to do is we're going to match 0 on the number line. So there's 0 right there. 0 matches with 0. And -7, and if I look on the number line, I don't see a -7. But if I remember, I believe -7 is between -6, the larger number, and larger than -8. So it seems confusing, right? So -7 is larger than -8. But -7 is smaller than -6. So therefore, -7 has to land between -8 and -6. It's kind of like the opposite when you're dealing with the negatives. All right, let's see if that works and how it goes. All right, that's going to take us to 10 points already. We're going to graph 3 and -3 on the number line. So graphing 3 is pretty easy. So I don't see a 3 on the number line, but counting from 2, the next point is 3 to 4. Well, it makes sense that 3 is going to land between the 2 and the 4. Well, -3 should be very similar. It should land between -2 and -4. So if I count down, -1, -2, -3, that's my point that I graphed right there, to -4, that works. All right, here we go. We got graph +1 and -1 on the number line. 1 is the next number after 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, so far so good. And -1 is the next smaller number after 0. So yes, -1 is smaller than 0 because I'd rather owe nobody 0 money than owe somebody $1. So think of it again in terms of money to help you out on this one. All right, smart score of 828. We're doing really good. Numbers are getting just a little bit larger, but it's no different. We're going to start with -20 on the number line. And -20 is given to us on the number line, so that is just a matching activity right there. And +5, let's see, we go 0, we got a dash right there, to 10. Well, halfway between 0 and 10 is +5, so that makes sense. We go by 5. So 0, 5, 10, 15. So that's a good way to check to see if the pattern continues. So we're looking for patterns and numbers on this IXL. All right, we're going to graph -12. -12 is given to us. Beautiful on that one. And -2, let's see, from 0, I don't know what that is right there, to -4. Well, between 0 and -4, halfway is -2. So that works out great right there. All right, graph -16. -16 is given to us. And -13, which is not given to us. But -13 should be one number smaller than -12. But it's one number larger than -14. So -12, -13, -14. Excellent, counting towards the left there. All right, here we go. We got -10. -10 is given to us. And -25, I do not see. But -25 has to be smaller than -20. But -25 is also larger than -30. So it has to land between the -30 and the -20. All right, we're going to graph 0 and -14 on the number line. So 0 is given to us. Looks like we go from 0 to unknown to -4. So halfway between 0 and -4 is -2. So we are counting by 2's in a smaller direction. So here we go, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, -12, -14. So -14 lands right between -12 and 16. So excellent. There we go. So -4 is given to us. -20 is given to us. Ooh, we almost got a home run on this one. -14, we're going to have to work a little bit harder for it because they're not giving it to us. However, negative 14 is smaller than negative 12, but it's greater than negative 16, so it's going to land there. So we're going to go ahead and graph negative 4. We're going to graph negative 14, which is not given to us, but negative 14 has to be smaller than negative 12, so I'm going to go to the left. But negative 14 is greater than negative 16, so we have to go to the right from there. So it has to land between negative 12 and negative 16. And negative 10 is also not given to us, but I know negative 10 is smaller than negative 8, but it's greater than negative 12. So negative 10 is going to land there. All right. Now they're giving us another number line where it's getting a little bit more difficult because they're giving us very few numbers. So we have to find a pattern going from negative 7 to 0 to 3. Now, because 0 and 3 are pretty close to each other, I'm going to see if I can find a pattern that goes from 0 to 3. I'm just going to try 1 to see what happens. So 0, 1, 2, 3. That works pretty good. And notice that we're looking for graphing a 2 and a 1, so we can knock those two out. So here we go. 0, 1, which is a point. 2 is another point, and 3. Why? Because there's the 1, there's the 2. Now from 0, we're going to count smaller going to the left. So 0, negative 1, there's our negative 2. But I want to keep going to see if it lands at negative 7 perfectly to make sure the pattern continues. So here we go. 0, negative 1, negative 2, just graphed. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. The pattern works. I'm confident I'll get this one right. All right, next up we got positive 2, 1, 2. 0 to negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. And notice I'm being a little bit fast because what am I doing wrong? I'm thinking that they're in ones, but that might not be the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these points off and double check to see if those increments work. So notice I was counting by 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute, we got a problem because when I counted to 5, it ended up at 10. So because 5 is half the amount of 10, I think each increment we can double it to get to the right number. So what if you count by 2s? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go. That's going to be better. So we're going to count by 2. So 0, 2 is a point. And there are no more positive points because they only gave us positive point of 2. Now go the other way. We got negative 2 and negative 8. So here we go. Negative 2, that is a point. Negative 4, not a point. Negative 6, not a point. Negative 8 is a point. And negative 10 is already given to us. So that works. All right, we're going to graph numbers. So let's check the number line one more time, just like that last one, because it could be by 2s. But let's start with 1s and see what happens. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this particular number line, it works out nice because counting by 1s does work. So 0, 1, and there are no more positive points because the next ones are negative 1 and negative 2. So going in a smaller direction and counting down, 0, negative 1 is there, negative 2 is there. I'm going to keep counting to make sure that my sequence works. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 works perfect. All right, last question. We're at 78. Notice that they give us points, negative 20, negative 15, negative 10. Because it looks like the points are in sequences of 5s, it might be a good idea to think that the number line is in 5s. And if it isn't, we'll change it. So let's try it. Let's try it. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So right away, just seeing that these were in increments of 5s up here, it made sense to try 5s, and it worked perfectly. All these points up here are negative, so it's going to make sense to count down in a negative direction by 5. So 0, negative 5 is not a point. Negative 10 is a point. Negative 15 is a point. Negative 20 is also a point. And negative 25 they gave to us. So here we go. Negative 10 right there. Negative 15, negative 20, all in order, going down in a smaller number direction. All right, that concludes our IXL B.2. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This concludes our tutorial.